Is my armor ready?
Oh shit. No.
Oh,
What? Did you say no?
Or yes, maybe. I don't know.
No, he said no, and he had
there
a
it
couple of
is.
extra days, so.
I'm
Oof.
just kidding.
Oh,
I
it is
see.
there.
I see it in my inventory.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So, last time you guys leveled up. We chatted a little bit about that. You guys got some great new abilities and an excellent combat to kind of showcase some of those. As you guys were attacked by a bunch of bugbears, um, as you were kind of leaving out this building, temple, whatever that was chucked in the ground, filled with undead, and this kind of like copy or whatever you want to call it of the evil wizard or wizard that you saw. Well, evil subjective here, but pretty evil for most people. In East Haven. So after dispatching of the bugbears, you all kind of convened and then decided that you were going to head to Lonelywood. You heard about some white moose causing some havoc in the area, and yeah, a name of Finnegan is the kind of the contact for what's going on there. So one thing I wanted to show you guys real quick, just to kind of give you perspective here. One second. Activate this real quick so you guys can see where we're at. So you guys were relatively east here, of East Haven. Not that close, but you're a bit more east out. And so Lonelywood just is going to be all the way over here. So it's going to take a bit of travel.
I thought we got to East Haven. I remember buying paper.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you are in
Yeah.
East Haven. So, yeah, we did all that. Yes, no, sorry. You got all that. And yeah, you're going to head to Lonelywood. And so yeah, you have I guess pretty much only one path. You kind of have to pass by. You don't have to necessarily go into Bryn Shander, but take the east way here to Bryn Shander, and or you can kind of stop here and start putting towards this area. And this is mainly just
I don't know. It's like 50 feet away.
yeah, from these squares, but no. So a little bit longer. So it's going to take probably, depending on how you want to do it, a few days to kind of get over there. Whether you're getting caught in the weather or not. So anyhow, just want to give you guys a little bit of perspective in terms of how long it's going to take, and where you guys are going to be going in relation to the other two towns. Okay, cool. So now that you guys have everything, we were going to begin, I believe, at the White Lady, not the White Lady Inn, the what's it called?
John Cena's Bicep Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, John Cena's Bicep Tavern.
It's a tavern
Perfect.
on top of his bicep.
Yeah, the Wet Trout. It's called.
The
Beginning at the Wet
RKO out
Trout.
of nowhere. It magically appears
And,
across the land.
For kind of a quick drink and some I don't know, I think Buffettes wanted to test out some of his either new abilities or use some persuade to acquire some loot. It's from what I'm gathering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And see if the whole fiddle's still working.
Yes. So let me do.
I don't know why we haven't gone to Good Mead yet.
Yeah, there might be good meat there.
Maybe.
Because we haven't stopped by Goodwill yet.
We could probably skip past Dugan's Hole. I don't think we need to see that.
No, it's not exactly quite. Okay. So let me put you guys over there real quick, just in one of these taverns here, just so if you want to do something. In the meantime, I think we've been on the map this map before, so just hop on over there real quick. Okay, so you guys walk in. Looks pretty empty, but it does seem a bit filled up with some folks. Yeah, what would you guys like to do for kind of like the evening?
I believe I was looking for feats of strength or competitions of strength.
Yeah, why don't you give me a quick perception check? It won't be very hard to see or hear that anybody is going to... something is going to happen. I'm deciding here what exactly it's going to be.
$15.
Okay, 15. So they're doing something actually a bit fun, and it might have to take outside, or they're talking about it. They're doing like halfling tossing. So they got some guy who signed up, and he's just like, "All right, how far can you throw me?" Yeah, and it seems like a couple of guys. This is like one of the younger dwarves and a halfling. Both of them have signed up to kind of be the ones being tossed. And you notice that they were like extremely bundled up, and they're kind of like drinking as much as they can, in order to kind of get themselves into a state that it's not going to hurt them as much being tossed around.
I, in fact,
so that's
do
one thing
have
you could
experience in this.
Exactly. So you might be good at that. The other thing that's going on there is a bit of arm wrestling. So if you want to partake in some arm wrestling, you could do that instead. So you have a little bit of options here. It is a little bit ruckus at the tavern.
Are we allowed to bring our own equipment to the halfling toss?
You can ask if you'd like. It seems like they have like a bookie. He's a humanoid. No, he's a human. He's looked like he's collecting some of the bets from some of the patrons here. And he's just like, "All right, come on. Who are you gonna be betting?" And you see like there's like 3 who's gonna be. It's funny. It's like such a British thing. 3 tossers. Three guys that have participated. That are gonna be, throwing some of these guys. You notice there's one that seems like a half orc, another humanoid, and then it seems like a dwarf has gotten involved in this. He's a little bit bigger than the others, but you're interested to see how he's gonna be tossed, just kind of like based on like body shape and stuff like that. So. Yeah, but you can go up to the bookie or something like that if you want to ask.
I look over to Jimothy. We've done this before. Would you like to go for a fling?
Matt doesn't remember getting flung. I assume Daniel must.
I
It happened
saved
in a
your
session.
life.
Yeah, it happened in a session that you were not here, but that did happen
Oh,
because you wanted to live, and all of us were trying to escape.
I see.
I almost
Yeah, it was like
sacrificed myself to ensure your safety.
Yeah, because the Tyler ended up being at the bottom of this pit, so we had to save him at that point because he saved you, and then we all climbed out.
Yeah, my only decent athletics check was to chuck you out of there, and then I couldn't do shit.
Yeah, afterwards, after you like rolled really well to chuck Jimothy up out of this like hole, and then you just kept getting stuck and like getting pelted with rocks as the whole building was coming crashing down essentially. Okay,
But
so
no, joking aside, I will go and speak to the organizer of this event and put my name in the ring.
he's like, "Oh, yeah, you've done some of this before. Your name's
A silo.
an A, yes, a Silo. Oh, so you want to get in on this action, huh?
Yes, I would like to. I have, although limited, some experience in this event.
All right. Well, it's pretty simple. We'll wait for these boys to get nice and piss drunk. Feel free to imbibe yourself. It's not required though. And once they're ready to go, pretty much once they're toppling over each other, we'll go outside and see how far we can throw them. Simple enough.
I will wait for the announcement of the start of the event.
All right. And so you kind of observe, yeah, what are the rest of you doing kind of here as
Oh, is there an entry fee?
Oh, yes, of course. If you're going to participate.
You almost got away with it.
I'm being
Well,
honest.
you weren't going to win anything. No, he hasn't collected it yet, but like,
Okay.
he's just like, well, how much you want to wager? There's, it's pretty much just whatever we put in the pot here.
50 gold.
He's just like, I would say probably about 2 gold would probably be a hefty pot.
I put 10 gold on the table.
He's like, oh shit. He looks at it. He's just like, all right, you got some confidence here. And then he goes through the other 3. And some of the other guys, the other participants, the other tossers, they kind of look at you and they're just like, they let out kind of like, this is like a poker, right? They're kind of like, you're like, okay, is this guy like just bluffing here? Is he the real deal? I mean, they've heard about you and your exploits, like, at least your groups. So you have a reputation. And then you notice the dwarf, he's just like, oh, fuck this. I don't want to do this. I'm out. He's just like, I'm not losing any more gold tonight. And so you kind of intimidated somebody out of participating. And so the other 2, they're just like, no. And so they don't put in as much. They put about 5 gold each into the pot because that's pretty much all they got.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rest of you, what do you guys got? What do you guys want to do? In the meantime, are you just waiting for the main event here?
Yeah. Both ladies will be getting some drinks and listening for, I don't know, potentially any shenanigans that he can get into.
Yeah.
Another seance.
No. That was the previous chapter.
Yeah, I think Zoran just wants to go outside, just right outside the tavern, and see what else is going on around town. I'm sure nothing is, but she wants to see what everyone else is doing outside.
Why don't you both of you give me kind of perception checks to see kind of what's going on around here and see if you what you see or if you overhear anything or anything like that.
Can you unpause this?
An 18.
No. Yes.
20.
18 and 20. Okay. Wow. Okay. Pretty good. So as you're kind of like moving around, seeing what you can see, yeah, you don't see much activity in terms of like seance and stuff like that, but you do overhear a couple people chatting. And I got that roll here. Okay. So you kind of hear somebody, they start talking about the Frostmaiden. You hear that shit there. Some guy is just like, hey, look, the Frostmaiden Oral? And he's like, the other guy's like, you mean the god? And he's like, yeah, apparently she lives on an island, near the sea of moving ice. And he's just like, oh, that's a load of BS, mate. Like, why would anyone will go to the hell out there? I guess if anyone's gonna have a deity, that wants to be not interrupted, that'd be the place where it is. He's like, and then the other guy is just like, yeah, and you're gonna have to get past this giant whale anyway to get there. Yeah, and he's just like, oh, come on, mate. He's just like, you gotta believe a little bit. I mean, there's literal gods in this world. Like, come on. And he's just like, no. I'm the only atheist in this AP. Anyhow, so you hear a little bit of that. That's you, Buffades.
Okay.
So, and then Zoran, what do you spot to here? Okay. Let's see here.
I can't read what you wrote, Osmanthus.
And then somebody here is just like, hey, did you you see here like a human half elf? She's talking about going to go visit one of her friends in Bremen. You guys been there before. She's like, did you know there's just apparently now somebody came up that there's like a frozen ship out there that just kind of appeared near the shore. Apparently, I'm not sure anything about that. But I was thinking of go checking it out with my friend and seeing if there's any treasure in that. And then the person they're talking to, they're just like, appeared out of nowhere. Come on, really? Out of nowhere. A whole ship on the water. And it's just like, that's what my friend told me. I'm just like, oh, they're probably just wanting you to go over there because Bremen needs people to actually live in that small ass town. And they're just like, well, I might go out there. I'll probably stop by Bryn Shander, get some materials, and then see if I can make my way to Bremen. So you hear about that. But yeah, I don't see much going on. It's a casino on the boat. Yeah. Good throwback there, potentially.
Maybe. I hear those people are jerks.
Mayhaps. So yeah, not much in terms of activities, in terms of things going on besides the main event that's coming up, but you do overhear some of the patrons talking about some of these things. If you want to get involved in either of those two conversations, you're more than welcome to, I guess.
Yeah, I would definitely like to take a drink over to the guy talking about the whale and the Frostmaiden.
And Benny's just like, oh, hey, you're the goatly one. I'm sorry. What's your name?
Yes, name's Bofades, and I'd gladly buy a drink to hear more about this Frostmaiden and what she might be doing in the sea of moving ice.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, what do you know about the Frostmaiden herself besides, she's a deity?
I don't know much, but I always have my interest piqued when I hear about the gods. They say to party with them is the best. I always like to have a good time.
Yeah, I don't know about other gods, but this god in particular, she's cruel. Absolutely cruel. I mean, she's punishing this with this everlasting winter. I mean, I know Southerners probably don't understand, but it's not always an entirely complete shithole up here. It's still cold. That doesn't go away, but not as cold. But I don't know. I shouldn't be cursing in her name. But anyhow, yeah. He's like, and he kind of gestures to his buddies. He's like, see, somebody's listening to me, you know. Anyhow, he's like, yeah, and buy me a drink, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Yeah, so I'll hand him one of the 2 drinks that I'm carrying. I'll obviously paid for the drinks before I walked over there.
Yeah, it's just a couple silver for each drink, so I should deduct that. And yeah, so he's just kind of like, all right, well,
tell
you
me
know where
more
the sea
about
of
this whale and how to get past it.
well, it's a bit odd, but there's a whale, and apparently there's a boat, like, on its back. I don't know how it's adhered to or strapped on or something. But it's pretty much the only thing that can kind of really swim through those frigid waters and the ice there. That's why it's called the moving ice. But you can see the whale apparently if you go to a place called Ongajuk's Bell.
Okay.
Again, he kind of spells it out. He's just like, look, I'm not the best speller, but I did get 2nd place in my spelling bee when I was in 4th grade.
There were 2 of us in class.
Sure
Okay,
you
so Jimmy's
did.
saying that. Angajuk's Bell, that's the place. And so he's just like, anyhow, apparently what you need to do, and again, I don't know who's out there and what's going on, but apparently you have to ring the bell and the whale will call to it.
Ooh. Okay.
And then the other guy chimes in. He's just like, really? That you're actually peddling this? He kind of looks at you, but he's like, you're actually believing this shit? Like, you ring a bell and a freaking whale shows up?
Oh, I like to hear a lot of interesting stories from all around. You'd be surprised what people can believe.
He's just like, you know what's good? You're better off sticking around here, taking the jobs, and making East Haven a better place. Don't go out there to search. You guys, you know, if you guys can make any of the situation better, more power to you.
Well, don't you know that's what Southerners do? We make things better.
Well, and that both of them go, whoa, 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 buddy, buddy, old pal. You guys, we know what your deeds are and what you've done for East Haven, and you know it. But I wouldn't be going spouting that out with anybody if you're looking to keep your head on.
Wow, that is aggressive.
I'll say, hey man, I'm just messing around. But we do like to have a good time when we're in town, so why don't you buy yourself a drink and I'll give him a few silver too. We're going to get him, and I'll thank the guy for his tale, and I'll keep in mind potentially how that works.
And the other guy, the other guy who doesn't really believe any of this, he kind of like stops you, and he's just like, "Hey, look," he's like, "I appreciate the money here, but if you're gonna go out there, and you do meet her, because apparently there are that do meet her, either they die or she chooses them. I don't know exactly what that means, but just you seem like a good bloke, okay? Just don't get yourself killed."
Well, either way, I'm sure it'll make for a grand adventure and a good song.
And he kind of gives you like a little bit of concerned smile because, like, I mean, regardless of what you want to say, like a lot of the people here like may not like believe, you know, all the stories that I've seen her, but they do know that she's a being like that. that she has influence. It's kind of weird, right? Like it's almost like, just like there is like, like, oh, maybe my uncle or somebody, like it's like more closely related than like, a story that's been passed down generations. Like somebody immediate to them has claimed that they've seen it. So he's like, even though he has a little bit of like disbelief of the whole, like everyone saying they've seen it or all of it, but he's just like, yeah, this is very much like a real thing that could kill you if you actually do go pursue it. So anyhow, you have that information. They kind of
While I
gestured
was
their rails towards
talking
you.
to him, I guess I will ask, how much was I trusting what he was saying? Did he seem like an old fool like Maurice, or you know?
Yeah, give me an insight check. See what he's telling you. Yeah, I mean, what you could tell, they seem like they're being pretty earnest. They're a bit drinking, so maybe some of those things could be a bit grandiose. But in terms of like the Angajuk's Bell, that seems like a real place. The Sea of Moving Ice, that seems like a real place. The extent of ringing it and like the whale with the boat strapped to its back, that could be some sort of wives' tale. You're not exactly sure. But you do have that information.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess, does the mood seem festive in here while they're waiting for this fight to start?
Yeah, actually, you hear a couple people based on your guys' posts, both you and Zoran hear based on your perception checks that people are pretty excited, and it seems to be a bit more lively overnight because they actually, typically they're used to just fighting or arm wrestling, which is, a commonplace thing and they get kind of excited about. But, the idea of tossing people is a bit new and it doesn't happen very often. Something different than their day-to-day schedules after work. So it seems to be pretty lively in here.
Yes, I suppose then after I walk away from the two guys, I'll pull out the old fiddle and just play a little background music that's kind of like slowly amping up, right? Like to try and amp up the crowd for this fight. Like like the Oscars walk-off music, like how they keep raising the volume slowly the more the person talks. That's what I'm
Sure.
gonna do.
Okay, give me a performance to see, how well this plays out. History hasn't gone too well. Oh! Yeah. Finally, there we go. So maybe maybe things have changed up. You finally figured out you got a good tune. Maybe because
finally rosin up that bow.
Rosin up that bow. He's just like, oh shit, I've been holding it on the wrong side the entire time, and so just been scraping the wood part of it of the. So yeah, it sounds great. And then a couple people throw something your way. Let's see how much they throw for you. Okay, they throw 3 gold in total. So it seems to be like 1 gold and then like the rest of it in silver. So you get that in total. Throughout like the time going there. So not the huge big haul, but like it's it's better than nothing, right?
Right.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, we'll kind of transition to the main event here. So at some point, the halfling, the halfling that's kind of been selected to be the one thrown, he collapses over and he goes, "All right, I'm ready." And so then the dwarf kind of nods to the bookie, and they're just like, and he goes, "All right, folks, we've got the main event. We're gonna step outside real quick. Make sure you bundle up and are sufficiently inebriated." He's like, "Any last bets? Any last bets before we toss everything out? We've got the largest pot tonight for these champions. So who will claim it? Take your bets.
Buffets is definitely gonna throw down 3 gold on a silo.
Okay.
Like just the money that I had just gotten in tips, like just
Okay.
right back on the table.
You just the tips?
Boo!
Exactly.
And 1 foreskin.
Okay.
What do the other dudes look like?
So the other guys, they're a bit, they're just stocky individuals. They look like both of them are loggers. So, you know, they've got a bunch of furs. You can tell that they're loggers just because, like, they got a little bit of that smell. Like, I guess, like maybe they've just been like out in the trees or whatever. But, and then you just notice from like where they're stationed, they have like their like their axes that they would use for the cutting. So that's kind of what led you to presume them. Yeah, so they're both in pretty good shape, all things considered.
Is it
though
too
one
late
thing,
for
one of
another
them,
challenger to enter? Oz is gonna step forward.
and the guy looks at you and he's just like, "You?"
Me.
He's just like, "All right, how much you wagering? How much you putting in?" Most of these guys have put 5 gold. Your buddy over here has put 10 gold, but
I'll put in 5 gold.
all right. Look, listen, buddy. You understand what we're doing here? You're going to be tossing these guys over here. He gestures towards the dwarf and the halfling. Do you think you got the upper arm strength to do it?
Anything goes.
And give me.
Yes, anything goes.
Give me a persuade check or deception. You know, I'll let you word it however you want it to, but like exactly like convincing him like what does that mean, or like, he's like not sure what do you mean by anything goes.
You know, I'd like to try and use my mind to get the best angle for the throw and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna try and persuade him.
And he's just like, your mind. He's just like,
and his name is John C.
and he kind of looks at you and he's just like, all right. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's a spectacle, that'll get more people going. So, you know, you seem like more of the wizardy type, so it seems like you might have some tricks up your sleeve. And he kind of goes like, let me go talk to the other boys here and see if they're okay with it. So he goes to you.
Chill the halfling.
He's like, he goes to you.
Finger of
Like,
death.
hey, look, your buddy here wants to participate. I don't know what he's up to, but I'm cool with it. Are you fine with him participating?
I'm fine with it.
And he goes to the other guys, and then with your natural 20, it carries over. Like, they're just like, yeah. No, they don't understand. They're a little bit also like, you know, they've been drinking a little bit to kind of get themselves hyped up. So they're just like, oh, yeah, whatever. We can take care of that scrawny guy. I'm more worried about his buddy. He's like, yeah, whatever. If he wants to use his mind or his abracadabra, he can go for it.
Really putting together those 2 brain cells they got working.
And so, all right. So we've got 4 participants in the the dwarf and halfling tossing. So, how this is gonna work? It's gonna be pretty much athletics checks here. So, I think it's just gonna be athletic checks, and then I was trying to see if I can incorporate like a D100 system to kind of like see how far I can throw it, like, you know, like this number of feet, but that doesn't, you don't get any modifier for anything for that. So we'll just say athletics checks, and I'll set a couple DCs to see how far they
Can I
go.
cast-
D100,
Can I cast
100
guidance
feet.
on? Can I cast guidance on Osmanthus?
Oh, no need, Soren, but,
Are you cheating, Soren?
No?
She didn't even bet.
Yes, I did.
She
It
totally
says in the
did.
chat. I
Oh,
put a
okay.
gold bet on Oz,
All right.
Nice.
No, she's
and I overheard. Anything goes. I'm all for this.
I'm all for chaos.
okay. Jimothy, do you participate? Do you put any money down on anybody? Oz has chosen to participate, so.
And they didn't outline any rules that would disqualify Oz from doing something like floating someone 100 feet down the road.
Whoa.
So he rolled a natural 20 on persuasion, so he pretty much convinced the guy that anything goes. So
I'm not gonna put any money on this rigged nonsense.
okay. All right. So okay, so we will start out. So it will be the one of the two loggers' turns. So he will start up, and he's just like, because he's feeling a little bit confident. He's like, oh, you're right. And he goes and he grabs. He thinks he's got the advantage, so he goes and grabs the halfling, and the halfling he goes, wait, I changed my mind. And he's just like, oh, it's too late now. And he's just like, oh. And so he kind of like winds up and he's like, shut up and hold still. And so they're like, all right. So they go step outside. And he starts kind of like getting a swing. And the bookie is kind of like drawn like a line out in on the snow with kind of like the end of the axes here. And the guy goes, all right. Yeah, I mean, just stand behind this line and chuck him as far as you can. Let's see how he does. Okay. So he takes and chucks him, and he chucks him about pretty far, actually, considering you're tossing a person, he tosses him about 7 feet. So pretty decently far. He feels pretty confident about that, and people are like, yeah, they're just excited the guy just got tossed. And the other guy just kind of, the halfling kind of like gets up from his soul. He's like, oh, it hurts. And he's like, that's all right. Get him more liquor in ya. Don't worry, the pain will go away. And so a couple of the guys hand him a beer. Next up is going to be Asilo. Asilo, you get to choose between the dwarf and the halfling. Although it seems like the halfling's a little bit drinking here, but you could grab him if you want to.
I close my character sheet. I will. Throw the dwarf.
Okay. So you throw the dwarf. Give me an athletics check to see kind of roughly how far you're gonna throw him here. Ooh.
Lame.
Yeah, so not too far. You do a pretty decent job, but you kind of only get like 5 feet. You kind of just like maybe like the dwarf is just a little bit more difficult to kind of hold, and you chuck him, and he kind of just almost he like resists the motion. He like it's not like you're don't have the strength to do this, but you notice that he kind of like opens up his arms and kind of like makes the throw a bit more, and so people are like, they're cheering. They're like, yeah, because you just threw a person and they landed hard on the ground there, and the door's like, oh. Okay.
I look at the dwarf. I'm like, I'm sorry. I guess you weren't ready.
And so, okay, so then we'll go towards the other logger. So the other logger, he's just like, all right, let me show you how it's done. And he chucks, he chooses the dwarf again, and he rolls a natural 1. So he like starts like winding up. He's like, all right, and then like kind of like goes to throw him, and he notices that like part of like his like tunic or whatever his jacket gets like caught in him, and they both go like completely collapsing forward, and everyone just starts laughing. They're like, "Ah!" Just a huge uproar in terms of just seeing this complete fail. And he's like, "Hey," and then the guy goes like, "Hey, yeah, that's unfair. It got caught on my jacket." And he's just like, "Hey, that's not my problem." He goes, "Hey, fuck you, blah blah blah," start going off like this. He's like, "All right, shut up, pipe it down, like next person." And he goes to you, Oz, and he's just like, "All right, you're up. Gonna choose here between the dwarf and the halfling if you who you want to throw."
I'm gonna look between the dwarf and the halfling. Which one looks more eager to be tossed at this point in time? Which one looks actually more pissed off, more angry?
You notice that the dwarf is pretty upset because he's like the guy like fell on him who just threw him, so he's a bit angry. The halfling, they've given more drinks, and so he's feeling a little bit better. And they're talking about, he's like, "Come on, man, go get out there. You know you want this." And he's just like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm young and I'm stupid. I'm ready."
I'm gonna go up to the dwarf and I'm gonna kind of like, I'm gonna grab him, but I'm gonna lean close to him and go, "Would you like to fly
He
safely?"
goes, "What the hell is this? What?"
I'm asking if he would like to fly.
"Yeah, I mean, if you can throw me with those arms, absolutely."
And I'm gonna cast fly on the dwarf. I need you to just jump when I throw you, and will yourself to move through the air.
All right, give me what I want you to roll for this. Just give me just give me kind of a straight intelligence check here. Just to see if you can kind of explain to him, get him to understand exactly what you're trying to do. It might have him, maybe I might roll for something for him. But yeah, roll straight intelligence for now and see if he understands. Okay.
Do I have guidance, Zoran?
That you
All
do,
right,
yeah.
I'm gonna
If
add
you
a
wanna use
D4 to
it.
this. 13.
13. Okay, so let me roll for him to see if he quite understands what the heck you're trying to say to him. Okay, so he kind of looks at you and he's just like, "All right." Just kind of move forward, you say, right? Just
move with my arms, and the magic will allow you to fly.
simple enough. And so he kind of like, where they go line up to the line here. Okay, so how do I want to do this for him since he's going to fly here? Okay, so what is fly? What's the speed here?
60 feet for 10 minutes, he can fly.
60
So
feet.
it's not really going to look like I'm tossing him at all. It's just going to be obvious that some magic fuckery is going on.
Okay. So he goes and he kind of like gets into position, and then are you gonna like mimic, the tossing motion, or are you just gonna like?
Yeah, I'll try and mimic the tossing motion.
Okay, give me a performance or something here, just to
Performance?
Yeah,
Sure. I'm sure this is going to go
see
well.
how well it kind of looks here.
6.
Okay. So to everyone else except the people that are kind of participating in this doesn't look very, Oz kind of like mistimes it, it looks a little bit weird. But the dwarf, he kind of understood what you were doing, but what he does is he kind of like jumps up and then he goes way higher than you would think he would go. But he does get some sort of horizontal movement. He goes, "Oh shit, I'm scared. God damn it." And then he starts coming down.
As he's coming down, I'm like, "You're in control. You're in control. Focus."
And he's just like, "I'm too drunk and stupid." And then like kind of collapses down and like lands in the snow. But he makes it the farthest distance with 30 feet. And the people are like, yeah, let's go. That's how you do it. And they're a little bit like, some of the people are like, what? Did I just observe that? Like, this doesn't make any sense how somebody could do this. But they buy it. And so people are just like, yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to the dwarf. I'm gonna make sure he's okay.
And besides the severe brain damage he's incurred, he's doing fine, but that won't affect him till later in life. So he's just like,
I mean, that was due to the alcohol. He's fine.
Exactly. So it's just like, whoa, I've never done anything like that before.
You can go again if you want.
And he kind of like, he's like,
take it slow. Just levitate. Hover like 5 feet off the ground.
and so he kind of like hops up, and he's like, kind of like waving his arms, assuming that he's falling. And he looks down, and he's just like, whoa, this is something new. And then he starts kind of moving around and flying, and people are like, hey, what is this? What kind of... And everyone else, give me a perception check as this is all happening. And that includes you, Oz. You can roll in a perception as well.
Okay. I'm about to get robbed, aren't I? Yep.
Okay. So, Jimothy, you pick up that some of the people, once they see that this is kind of like some sort of like magic or something like, they kind of look at like Oz a little bit with like some, not hateful, not angry, but just kind of like, they aren't too keen on the whole magic thing, and you feel like some of the people are kind of turning against Oz in terms of being like a magic user. So they look kind of like frustrated towards him. They're just like, what? And some of them are talking. You can kind of like overhear. They're just like, really? How do we know he's not an evil wizard? You kind of hear that over the over kind of like the laughter and the cheering and everything like that. So, but yeah, you're known to that. It's not a large majority of people. You do hear that from some people.
Okay.
So it seems like whatever previous wizard was here, as you already know, that like kind of left a bad look for them, and so he's like, well, maybe he's just another wizard trying to drive out this wizard, or that was already in this town here. So anyhow, so you know that. Okay, so everyone cheers. They're all excited. They're just like, well, it seems like you're the winner, and these boys look pretty rough. They're willing to go another round if you're wanting to, kind of settle this. And some of the other guys are just like, yeah, one more round, that'll settle things. They're like, yeah, best of three throws.
I agree. Best 2 out of 3.
Yeah. And so the bookie's like, people are like, what do you want, people? You think you want to see some more of these guys being tossed around? And they're like, yeah. And so they go to the participants, and they're like, hey, look, the people want to see more throws here, and so they're just like, yeah, it's gonna be best of two of three, keep the show going, And then what do you say, Oz, to that? He's like, look, you technically won this, but best 2 out of 3. What do you say?
I feel my little spell here is not really in the spirit of this competition. I just thought it might be amusing. My good pal, Mr. Dwarf Flyer. I didn't get your name.
Oh, and he's just like,
Is it Boeing?
Is it Boeing? No, no, no. It's Airbus.
Airbus.
No.
Cessna.
Yeah, it's fucking
Blimp.
yeah. Um, and he's just like, no, it's Gorvin. Gorvin's my name.
All right, Mr. G. I can keep the spell going a little longer, but you know, if you've had enough of the skies, then maybe the other fellow would enjoy it.
And he's just like, oh, I'm having the time of my life. What are you talking about? Like, never been able to fly before. Like, he kind of starts like rising up, you know, gaining elevation. He's like, hey, I can get to my house from here.
You got like 5 minutes, and you need to be on the ground, otherwise you'll just plummet down.
He's like, 5 minutes? What do you mean? I want to be able to fly forever.
You will. You'll fly for the rest of your life at that.
And he doesn't quite understand the joke, and he's just like, yeah, forever. And he starts kind of like soaring around a little bit.
Ah, shit.
Okay. So we'll kind of move on to the next round here, and then we'll get some throwing. So next up is, so in the meantime, they'll go and grab the halfling, the first logger, and he'll go and throw him. And just abysmal like his other buddy. He like maybe he's a bit drunk as well, and just kind of like doesn't throw him very far, and only gets like 4 feet of distance. Just really poor rolling. Up next is Asilo. Asilo, give me an athletics check, and we'll.
Say, I walk over to the dwarf and say, "You remember what my friend told you? Just focus, and you will go."
And he's like, yeah. And it says he come down, and he's just like, all right, go for it. Okay. So, this is a bit interesting because like you still got a little bit of the spell here, and he's got your athletics. So you actually do get a pretty decent, like, it's almost like you throw him, you know, and it would go like 15 feet, but he kind of like, once he realizes like, oh, he can still fly, he kind of flies, an extra 30 feet, and you get a distance of 45 feet, and people were just like, what is going on? They're down like a couple blocks. We were like, what's happening here? As he comes down,
If the dwarf's on the ground at this point, I'm gonna drop concentration because I don't want to kill anyone here. I don't want this drunk dwarf like flying like 400 feet in the air when the 10 minutes runs out on this spell and he just plummets to his death.
Yeah. The other guy's like completely in disbelief. The loggers are just like, how would it? And he goes and grabs the halfling again, and he's just like, all right, I can do this, and gives him a good throw here, and he does. He's just like, and chucks him as hard as he can, and he gets about 15 feet. And for throwing a person, that's pretty good. But it's not enough to beat 45 feet, and people are just like, they're kind of like, a little bit disappointed after they've seen an impressive feat, even though what he did, without any like magic is pretty impressive himself. And last but certainly not least is Oz. Oz, what are you doing?
I bet that halfling's in a lot of pain after getting chucked 15 feet.
He's just like, my whole body hurts.
I'll try and throw the halfling. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
No trickery this time. Just pure upper body strength.
All right, give me an athletics check here.
3.
Oh.
Yeah,
But I
with
can't
a-
even pick him up.
Yeah, with a 3, you kind of like, and you kind of like inch him forward, and he kind of just collapses to the ground just over the line. And he's like, he kind of gets up, he's like, hey, what the hell was that? I could have fallen and gone farther.
Well, it's why I do magic.
And people are like, all right, we're neck and neck. We're gonna settle this a tiebreaker here. It's gonna be a Silo versus, hey, what's your name, kid? As he's whispering to you, Oz.
Oh, gosh, I wasn't prepared for that. Osmanthus.
All right, a Silo and Oz for the win here. And people are like, yeah. And they're like, Silo, Silo. So they're all cheering your name. And so the halfling's gonna tap out here. It's just gonna be the dwarf here, and he's just kind of like, oh, my head doesn't hurt. I think I have a concussion. And then vomits on the ground.
That's gross.
And he's like, oh, and he goes to and they do like a coin flip, and it looks like it's Asilo who gets to go first. So Asilo, the dwarf is ready for you to be. He's ready to be tossed.
Okay. I was hoping to throw the halfling this time, but I guess I'll throw the dwarf again.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on myself.
I figured.
All right,
I'm gonna give myself Bull Strength.
Checks out.
It's like, I've got this.
All right, I will go ahead and put my hand on the back of the dwarf's neck and then grab his belt. It's like, this isn't gonna go as smoothly as the last time.
Oh, shit. Wham!
He's just like, oh, hey, what do you mean? And so you wind up and you throw him. You throw him pretty good. Almost 20 feet. And he goes, ah! And then he lands on his head and just falls flat. And he's just still. And people are like, silent. It's just like complete silence for a second. Just a split second. And then the people go, yeah! They start cheering. They're like, yeah! Like, somebody wake him up. And so they kind of go like slap him across his face, and he slowly turns, and he's just like, oh, I think I broke my neck.
Can I cast Cure Wounds on him?
Yeah, you cast Cure Wounds, and he's just like, thank you, as he kind of like is come back together. And people were like, oh man, I could really paralyze him. And people are like, wouldn't that be awesome? And they're like, no. But okay, so it is Oz's turn. So we've got a Silo's throw here. You just got to beat him.
I have to roll a natural 20 to match that.
All right, you got it though.
All right, I'm gonna grab the dwarf.
Like,
gosh.
what? Wait. I'm in pain.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I'll wait.
And he's like, no, the halfling's pretty much done, so it's got to be him.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tempting to just teleport this guy 90 feet away, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, let's see what you got here.
I'll just athletics to try and chuck him. Okay, an 8.
Got advantage here.
I didn't mean to click it more than once. So a 7.
Okay. All right. So you throw, and yeah, I mean, you get a little bit more farther, but like a little bit farther, but like it's nowhere near close, and people are like, they're a little bit like surprised because you just threw him earlier, like 30 something feet. But they cheer for you anyway. They're like, "Yeah, no worries, good try, mate." And then they all go like, "Yeah." So people are like angry. They start like throwing like their like covers and like their scarves on the ground. God damn it! As they this successfully comes to an end, and a silo again is declared the winner. And you guys have won a little bit of money here.
I feel like I lost some.
Yeah, well, sorry, a silo feels like he's won a bit of money.
Yeah, I lost
So-
a gold. It's okay. Good try, Oz. I
So
was
a silo
rooting for
your efforts and for contribution to the pot and everything, you will gain 30 gold minus everything. So
Ooh.
pretty good effort here from everyone. The two you notice that the two loggers are pretty peeved. They're kind of like staring daggers at you. Both of you actually. Because they give an effort, but they didn't feel like they feel like they were cheated.
I walk over and I give them their 5 gold apiece back.
And they're like, oh. They're like a bit confused, but they're not gonna say anything. They're like, good on you. And
I'll walk over and just kind of say, I made it unfair by casting the spell that I did on Mr. G over there.
And they're like, they kind of look at you, the loggers, and they're like, that's fine. It's not a big deal. No harm, no foul, especially now we have our money back, and it's all good fun. And
I thought it would be fun.
And they're like, yeah, it was. And they're just like, hell, I never seen a dwarf fly that far. No one's gonna believe me when I tell them a dwarf can fly.
Well, he can't anymore, so it was just temporary. I can't maintain that forever.
Yep. So everything kind of like calms down for the evening. You made your money back.
So how much did I get for betting on a silo?
Yeah, so you got 5 gold for minus everything. So you made a little bit of gold back. And then Zoran, you lost the gold.
And I lost 5.
I already deducted it. It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine.
So okay. So if there's anything you want to do for the rest of the evening, if not, we'll kind of push things along so you guys can get to the next part of the journey. I think you guys had in mind.
I don't have anything else. I'll tell the guys about the crazy story I heard. That's about it.
So you guys are all now kind of privy to apparently there's some location where the Frostmaiden resides, and you have to take a whale to go out there or something to go see it. You're like, what now? But you have that information. Okay. So with that, we'll say that you guys are going to retire for the evening, and we'll are you guys gonna do any watches, or are you just gonna like take a room, or are you guys just gonna what's the plan here as you guys kind of like settle in for the night?
I'll take the first watch. I'm sure nothing will happen, but it's fine.
So how are you doing your watch? Just kind of like hanging out in the hallway, or like what's gonna happen here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out near the door, like on the inside of the door. I guess. How many rooms are we in? 3 rooms.
That's on you
2
guys.
each?
Like it's gonna be about 3 silver per room for the night. So if you guys how many rooms you guys want to acquire here, you guys can 2 of you can fit in a room.
I'll pay for 1 room. Whoever wants to bunk with me.
Timothy will, and we'll let Zoran keep watch.
Yeah.
I'll take another room and I'll just set up and I'll just kind of spread the alarm around the room.
And both Hades will definitely hang out in that room with Oz.
Means? Okay.
Alarm set means all night sleeping.
Yep.
And I will do my usual. I'm going to stand out in the hall where I can see the doors to both rooms and stand there.
Okay. So, okay, Zoran and Asila, why don't you give me some perception checks? You know, Zoran, for however long you want to take a watch here, and then Asila if you notice anything.
17.
17.
18.
Okay. So, yeah, nothing much goes on. Like, you know, people keep drinking for the rest of the night, and it's, you know, nothing too exciting. Apparently recently, there's been a couple more goblins. You overhear somebody talking about goblins, you know, from downstairs, appearing on the trails. So they're just like, yeah, they've been ambushing him, and so just keep an eye out when you're traveling between the towns here, that there's been a kind of an increase in goblins on the roads here. And that's all you hear. And so, yeah, Zoran, unless you're gonna wake anybody up, I mean, you can. It's not really much of a watch per se.
I mean, I can wake up Jimothy, I guess, but I'll let him know that, you know, Asila's outside and Oz did a alarm around us, so if he wants to keep sleeping, he can.
I will keep sleeping.
Okay, bye.
And okay, so Asila, you stay out there for the rest, and we'll keep with you. And you know, it seems like, you know, the patrons leave. You hear some cleaning for a bit, and then for the most part, everything goes dark, and they call for a night. And then the morning comes, however bright it is, even though it's still pretty dreary up here in the north, and you guys can all mark successful long rest as we move on to the next part of the journey here to get to Lonelywood.
Well, shall we try and find a carriage or a wagon or something? And now I think we should be able to tie a rope and basically hook up these owlbear horses to the carriage or wagon. But really, that's going to be up to the DM of this adventure on whether or not that's allowed.
I mean, you do notice a travel check, you can do it. It's pretty much with the cart here. So you head down to the stables, and whether this takes place prior or post Room Center. In terms of like where Joe is at in his life, whether he's college educated or not. We'll just say for now he still hasn't committed to it. But okay. So I'm gonna have to go kill it later. Okay. So yeah, so you go against the keep, and you spot college, college educated. So you see good old Joe. You don't know who Joe is, but you see Joe there working on the tables here, and he's just like, I don't even remember how it sounds like, but he's just like, oh, hello, what can I get you?
Wow, that sounds exactly like him.
I know, it's uncanny.
We're looking for cart, a wagon, a carriage, you know.
You only want all of
I don't know
those?
which one.
Oh, you only want one of them.
Yeah, I think the cart would be the smallest,
Okay. Yeah.
and I don't remember what would be the larger between the carriage and the wagon.
I would say the carriage,
Hmm.
I think. I don't know. I guess I would know. He kind of looks about and he's like, yes, the carriage.
Well, team, what would you prefer? And how much would a carriage cost as opposed to a cart?
Well, it's pretty cheap. Not pretty cheap. Pretty expensive out here. It's going to be about 40 gold for the deposit if you're going to rent a cart, and then, or sorry, for the carriage here, and then I would say about 2 gold per day.
Like the carriage is covered so that we would be like inside of it, or what?
Yeah, it does have a cover. So
Okay.
it does help out a little bit in terms of the transportation.
Hmm.
The cart and the wagon are a bit cheaper per day, but they're the same deposit.
Do we want to try and buy it outright?
Ooh.
Yes, how much would that be?
They're like, oh, it's gonna be about 120 gold pieces
For which one?
for the carriage.
Hmm.
Would Jimothy know if that's a good deal or not? Or does that seem about fair?
Yeah, Jimothy, why don't you give me maybe an insight check to see whether he knows.
Give me a good deal check.
We don't want to get swindled.
Seems fine. You're not actually sure.
Now,
You know, but now Jimothy, like, obviously, I'm sure in your nature you probably want to still get it cheaper anyway. But like, you're not saying like you're not feel like he's robbing you blind by suggesting this price.
now, does that price include the horses, or is that without the horses?
No, that's just the cart or the carriage.
Okay, so no savings on that front.
Yeah, horses are about 80 gold pieces a piece.
So, how many horses or other animals would it take to pull this carriage?
The carriage probably take 2 horses. And then yeah. And then I would say the wagon and the cart you probably could just do with 1. Depending if you want to move faster, you could probably take 2. But the carriage at the very least you'll need 2. We've got 4 horses in total, so we could hook up all of them and see how that works. If you're carrying a bigger load.
Okay, so here's my thoughts. This spell, Phantom Steed, can be cast as a ritual. It lasts an hour. It takes like 11 minutes to cast ritually. I figured that if I had a cart, if Oz was sitting, he would be able to ritually cast Phantom Steed. If he's riding, he would not be able to pull this off. That's kind of how I was thinking this would work.
Okay.
That's you sitting in the back of the cart.
Like if I'm just sitting in like the cart or the wagon, I would be able to ritually cast a spell while doing that. But if I'm like on top of the Phantom Steed, I have to control the fake animal, and it would be much harder to ritually cast a spell.
Right.
So my thoughts are, if we had a carriage or a cart, I could make sure that we had another steed or another 2 steeds before the full hour ran out. so we could kind of keep the Mokolotion, right? The
Sure,
locomotive.
sure. Yeah, I'm willing. I'm willing to work with that. Yeah.
So that's why I think we need a cart or a wagon. And Oz is just going to be busy ritually casting while he's on it. So if we
It's
wanted
just
to do a wagon or like a basic cart, Oz could ride in the cart, have the one Phantom Steed pulling him, and he could be ritually casting this for other people on the group to ride. You know, Bophades, Jimothy, and Zoran. And I think Asilo said that he's got kind of a steed ability too for transport.
Yes, I would be able to provide an animal that would be able to pull the cart or wagon, and you wouldn't have to cast constantly.
Mm.
So he's just like, so what's it gonna be?
I think we'll buy a wagon.
All right, a wagon will be, it'll be 45 gold pieces.
And how does the wagon differ from a carriage?
The carriage can hold, I think, more weight, and it's bigger.
I guess that makes sense.
But it needs more animals to pull it, I think. I can sell you some saddlebags if you need some stuff for it to hold, I suppose. But
I think we're good on that front. Why don't we get a wagon?
all right. So 45 gold pieces.
I'll put in 25 gold.
I'll put
Someone
in.
else want to cover the 20?
I'll say I'll put in 20.
They're like, oh, I might be able to go to college with this. No, he kind of goes. He actually says this. He goes like, "Oh, I might be able to afford one textbook with this."
And while you guys are getting the carriage ready, I will take 10 minutes and cast Find Steed. And I will summon a warhorse.
Wow. Okay.
It's my strongest option, is either that or an elk.
Yeah.
An elk.
Your DM might allow other animals to be summoned as steeds. Yeah, I mean, I would say a horse would work just fine. Yeah. I'm just. It's kind of funny that it allows you to say a war horse and then a horse. I guess they have. What's the difference between them? Just like their speed, probably. Other mechanics.
There is a difference. I think it's like strength and speed.
Yeah, they have a higher challenge rating, let's say. Okay, cool. And then more hit points and all that good stuff. Okay. Same speed, it looks like. But yeah, definitely higher strength for sure. Okay. Cool. So you have that. You have those. So you've got Oz's Phantom Steed, and then you've summoned a steed here. So I think with that, I mean, you guys can hook those up to the wagon here, and Job will help you out in getting that done. And then he's like, "Here, I'll throw in a bit of feed for you. This should keep you going for a bit. I don't know if you'll need it." But
I don't
take
think
it
my Phantom Steed needs it. I have no idea about Find Steed.
The warhorse would. Although technically, if you wanted to be a horrible person Basically, you could let it starve to death and resummon it, and let it starve to death and resummon it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no. You know, we already do enough like primes in this game. Well, let's not partake in animal starvation. So we'll give you the feed and you'll just take it. Okay, cool. So, you guys have that. When do you guys want to head out now? Are you guys ready to go? Or is there anything else you'd like to do?
Let's go! Oh, so I'm going to tell the group what I heard last night about the goblins appearing on the trails. So we might want to keep our eyes out.
It's a good idea. Is there anything we could like transport from East Haven to say Brinchander, since we know we're gonna have to pass by? Maybe we could
Like drugs? Just kidding.
yeah, we could smuggle drugs into town. I don't know if there was anything like foodstuffs, or like maybe East Haven has the best blacksmith that makes nails and Brinchander has an order for them. You know, it's a little way to make money.
Maybe people.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
someone-
could smuggle people. We could that's weird, but
transport
okay.
people.
Yeah, why don't you give me a perception? Yeah, see what's local in town and see if anybody needs anything shipped or anything like that. You know, if you're gonna be making the stop.
Oh man, I can't wait to see some owlbears on the way.
Yeah, no, it seems like pretty much everyone's got their needs here. Looks like you're gonna be going solo.
Damn.
But that's all right. Maybe they're like, no, not right now. Maybe some other time. Thank you though. And then you gotta get that route for most people, or you get a couple of like piss off. I can handle it myself. You know, pretty rude behavior for the most part.
Well, if the goblins get you, I'll laugh while we ride on by.
And they're like, yeah, whatever. Goblins aren't real. And you're like, what?
Oh gosh. We can't leave. I need to educate this town.
Well, there's a lot of educating that needs to happen in the 10 towns. But, okay. So, you guys decide to head on out. Why don't you all give me a couple survival checks here? As we're, you now have your 2 steeds, your wagon. Seeing how you all fare here.
What the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell is going on?
Woo.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like we're so enthralled with like this steed that Asilo has cast.
Right?
And nobody appreciates the owlbear horse that I made.
That too.
100%. That is the
100%.
Yeah, so they're like, they're just like, whoa, what is this? You know, people are like staring. They're like, what is going on here? As you summon this, and you're heading out, and it shows like, oh, this doesn't look like a horse. Just completely in awe here of what's going on. So you got a couple people, and they're just like in shock that you're able to tame something like this. Okay, so your combined survival checks, not great, guys, but you're for the most part able to kind of keep on the road here. You find the east way, and you start making your way west towards Brinchander. Pretty relatively clear day, still cold as heck. And so I'll have you guys roll some Constitution saving throws as you see if you can withstand the cold here as you're leaving the towns here. Remember, some of you have resistance to it, and you get to roll with advantage here.
21.
Do I get to do that too with my new
Yeah, with your new
cold
armor.
resistance? Oh man.
So it's a bit nice, and that'll come into play. That's even applicable to damage and stuff like that. So, okay, oof. So it looks like Bofades, did you just roll 5 again? Damn, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Euphrates, you will occur a point of exhaustion here. So just -1 to most things, and make sure you mark that. And I think you should have the ability that, or the thing that Greg made.
The exhausted effect.
Yeah.
I look over at Bofades and I'm like taking off my second pair of gloves, see if he needs them. Just kidding.
Peek there.
Yeah, so I think you have to, in like the attributes, you have to do exhaustion 1 and then enable the effect. Because it should pull the value from the number in the attributes.
Oh, what do I gotta do for that?
I'm using the old style of character sheets.
Me too.
So
So
in the
it-
attributes, I've got death saves, exhaustion, inspiration. I think you can just put like a 1 there. And then if you go to effects, you can hit the check mark by the exhausted effect to enable it.
Okay.
And it should pull the 1 from there and subtract that from everything, because that's how that exhaustion works.
Yeah, so I could have this enabled all the time because my exhaustion's
Yeah,
at 0. It's not going to do anything, right?
Yeah, I guess you probably could, now that I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
What's the little icon on your character though? Your little.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it leaves it there permanently even if you have it at 0.
Okay, I'll take it off.
I find it annoying, so I removed it.
That's true.
Look, I can only do so much. I don't have access to the source code here to be like, hey, if this value is 0, hide the icon.
Hide it. Yeah.
Well, doing so much is not enough.
Wow.
Bofades just looks like he's sizzling.
Oz will slap Jimothy and ask him about his brother Timothy.
Okay, so okay, so you guys, you start traveling for a bit. Things are going relatively well, and then I'll have Jimothy here. Give me a perception check. Well, and then Asilo, you can also roll for perception. Dang, Jimothy, okay.
Heck yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Oh no.
I mean, what the hell?
I don't see shit.
You gotta open your eyes, Asilo.
So Jimothy, as you're kind of traveling along, you're kind of going, you're on this cart here, or this wagon here, and you're going between like a bunch of rocks and some snow drifts, and then it seems like maybe like one of the like smaller snow drifts, like next to one of the rock, you see a little bit of movement, like something like quickly duck down.
I will point it out to everyone what I saw.
Okay. So you kind of like point towards there, and then you guys look and you don't see anything, and then Jimothy, you know how you like out of your peripheral you like notice motion, like you're not seeing something, you just see something like you like notice something go by. You notice like on the other side of the path, you notice something like run across behind a rock.
I'll point that out as well and say, there are many of them around us.
Owlbears,
Soren's
where are they?
Zoran's gonna pull her weapon out.
Okay. And then I will move you guys to the map here, and we will engage in some good old-fashioned combat.
Nice.
Whoa. It doesn't have to be a battle map, Celso. This could be a negotiation map.
So
Right.
So snow drifts, right?
Yep.
So dumping out a bag of ball bearings into the snow probably wouldn't do much, eh?
You could certainly try.
Wait, do we have
I'm
ball
more-
bearings?
I do. I have a bag of 1,000 of them. I just picture it sneaking into the snow and just disappearing. Like, well,
Oh, well, that
that's
was
my
less.
act. That's my action.
Less than effective.
Done all
When
I
this-
can here.
When this snow melts, that will be dangerous.
I mean, it can't hurt.
Okay, so let me drag a couple of these guys onto the map here.
You know, it's hard for me not to think that this be the goblins that the DM talked about earlier.
You would think that.
Greg, you know
You
your
can't
text is
assume.
another language.
What?
It did that last week too, but it shows in common, but it does all the weird stuff on top of it too.
Yeah,
No,
my
I had-
text is. I swear it's auto-selecting Celestial for me, and I don't mean that.
I just go to the Twitch to see what he's saying. So it says Jimothy channeling his onyx eyes, but I couldn't read it. Zoran couldn't understand.
Yeah, I can't either.
Okay, well, I've got common selected. Can everybody read this?
Yes. But can't you uncheck the box next to language? So it doesn't even do that?
I mean, I can, and I go back and forth on whether or not I want to.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, your text takes up like 6 lines instead of just 1. So
You know what? It takes up no lines. All right, it's gone.
perfect, even better.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I was about to say, I guess that's why I could read it, because I speak Celestial.
Correct.
Yes.
That's
Freaking
why I would just
robot.
go to the. That's why I went to the Twitch to see what he was saying, because I couldn't see what it was. But I knew Silo could understand.
It's weird. I don't know why it selected Celestial again, because I selected Common earlier tonight,
But
and
did
it's
you?
like a full drop down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Silo.
Yeah,
I am all knowing.
get off the Twitch. That
Hey,
was a
I
private
don't-
conversation between a Silo and Oz.
I am one of 3 viewers.
Okay,
And I am the
So-
other 2.
that's hilarious. Okay, so you guys, so Jimothy, you spot not a goblin actually, as these like a bunch of these just hop out. They all like are start shouting. You notice that there are like a bunch of like little they almost look like little tiny dragons or some sort of dragon-esque creatures. And most of these, have you seen these before? They're a bunch of kobolds. As you know, them pop out. They all are looking like they're wearing like little like fur coats. And they all pop out. And let me bring you guys to the map here.
Dang it. I thought they were just going to be little dragons.
They're
Yes.
popped out.
You speak with animals.
Mm.
You guys are in here. Oh, let me add you guys to the initiative here. You guys can
Well, they all have
roll
little,
for initiative.
little like fur coats.
Not like big coats, but yeah, feel free to roll there.
Fuck.
Keep rolling like ass for initiative.
Can confirm.
Ladies is still missing here. Okay, so all right. First things first. It's going to be one of them that pops out that kind of like that Jimothy noticed. And it's gonna be like, it's gonna run out, it's gonna like shout to its friends here, and it's going to chuck a javelin at you. It's gonna be like, ah, yeah! And throw it at you, Jimothy. Does an 11 hit? All right, so it's just like, and it misses. Okay. That will be its turn. Bofades, you're up.
Oh, fantastic. I suppose I will target this one that's just in front of me here.
Okay.
And I will fire off a shot. If it goes, I clicked, and it's not going. Let's try that again.
Yeah, the pop out thing still doesn't work.
Yep, that's what I found out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was clicking on it, and I was like, well, let me just close this and relaunch it. All right. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit. Does your Eldritch Blast? It does more, no? Right? It does 2.
So with the Eldritch Blast, it's 2 separate rolls.
I see. I just see on the damage. I see 1d10.
Yeah. So I get to make a second attack that's also a D10 with.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. I see. Yeah, the first one
Right.
does hit, and it'll take that damage. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. So like a Firebolt would have been 2d10. Now that we're at level 5, but the Eldritch Blast is different because it's 2 separate
attacks. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that one hits as it blasts away, and it's like, ah! As it shouts out. It's still kicking.
And then I will fire another shot at it.
All right. A 14 just hits. And whoa, max damage, my friend.
Yes.
All right. I invite you to describe your kill as you take one of them out.
Oh. I just like it explodes right in front of it and just blows him back into the snow.
It just like gets shot back. Okay.
Silo might be able to murder 2 of these things with one swing if he gets close enough.
That is
collateral damage from the other one.
Well, I have rolled for this combat here, and this is it seems like to be one of the easier ones. You might mop the floor with them. We'll see. Okay. That is any movement, Bofades, or anything?
No, stay there.
Okay. You sounded disappointed.
I was like, I don't really know which direction I would go if I was to go somewhere.
Move. Right. Okay, Zoran, you are up.
I will attack this one.
Okay.
So 25 hit?
A 25, it does a 25 hit. Yes, a 25 does indeed.
So it'll be 13 for the first one.
Okay, I invite you as well to describe your kill.
It's just, I'm just aiming my arrow at its heart. And I'm going to yell out, "We didn't want this violence. You all should retreat."
He's like and then dead. Doesn't even get a chance to respond. Any other? There you go. Ahead.
So this one over here.
Okay. You're not gonna cease fire. You're gonna just continue murdering them.
Yeah.
Okay. For 8 points of damage. All right. It is looking very rough. A 21 does indeed hit.
And my last attack on the same one.
Okay. A 15 also just hits, and for 9 damage, and again, you kill it.
I'm gonna yell again. You all should retreat.
He's like, the other one's like, oh, I can't.
I will stay where I'm at. No, I'm gonna move here.
Okay. That's gonna be that one's dead. It's gonna be this one's turn. This one shouts out, "Leave here, non-believers!" and then chucks a javelin at Bofades here.
Whose turn is it? This one?
Like,
This one here.
Okay.
It's got advantage here. Bofades does an 18 hit your AC.
yes.
Okay, you will take 2 points of piercing damage as you were struck with the javelin here. Okay, that will be its turn. That one is dead, and it is Jimothy. You're up.
I will attack Norton that's next to me.
Yeah.
I want to back up a little bit though, right around here. Nope, here. And I will steady aim for advantage.
Okay. And 18 does indeed hit. So if you get that crit. 25 also does indeed hit.
And I'll do my savage attacker, I guess. Because why not? So 7 plus sneak attack.
Get him.
17.
Yeah, describe your kill.
I wanted to just like knock him back, and like his coat blends into the snow, and you can't even tell that he was there.
Yeah, you step back and he just collapses. He's just like gone.
Forgotten. No one will remember you. No one will bury you. You will not be
Oh my
missed.
God.
Goodbye.
All right, that is that one's turn. And anything else, Jimmy? Okay. Moving on to this one, it's going to chuck a javelin, or no, it's going to run up with a dagger to stab. Yeah, this one here. It's going to run up to stab Oz here. Be like, ah! As it
That's going to
runs.
get smacked because it's within 5 feet of me now.
Yep. And there's a 9 hit your AC there, Oz.
No. My AC's 10.
And so it's just like, ah, and it just like completely whiffs. And then afterwards, a silo with this warhammer comes in with an 18 to hit.
I'm going to go ahead and savage attacker that roll
Oh, Jesus Christ.
for 14 damage.
All right, I invite you to describe your kill.
As it's lunging in towards Oz, it's just like straight up golf swing, just skim the ground, whack the thing, and it goes flying.
Okay, so it yeah, you do that. Okay, so you do that, and it is dead. It's just, and it like spits up blood, and it just collapses to the ground. All right, up next is a silo. You pretty much killed this thing. It took its turn to come up at you, but you're up.
I look at the remaining two and say, you had your chance to leave. And was this the one that was calling us non-believers?
Yes.
And so I will...
Oh, no, actually, no. It was the one you just killed.
Oh.
Because it ran up.
Well, I'll still walk over to this one and go ahead and take a swing with the Warhammer. Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, the
the pop out, yeah.
yeah, the pop out thing. Because sometimes it'll let me pop it back in, sometimes it won't.
Sure.
It's being annoying. So I'll take a swing with the Warhammer.
Oof. Yeah, they don't have that much, but an 8 does not hit, unfortunately.
Probably miss. And so I will take my second attack.
Okay.
Will a 12 hit?
A 12 will not hit. He's Riley, this guy.
Alrighty. Well, I guess that's my turn then.
Okay. Up next is Oz. Oz, what do you got?
Hopefully better than those rolls.
Oh, damn. Throwing shade here.
After I saved you?
Look, it's not me trying to throw phantoms at you.
Uh-huh.
Oz is going to, yeah, I mean, I guess he's just gonna fling a firebolt at the guy in front of, no, he'll attack this one. So, no, I guess he won't attack shit.
See? What you get for talking shit.
Yep,
Oh my
that's
God.
karma if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately that one goes wild and just misses, and man, even the damage is really rough for 2d10.
That's almost the worst rolls all across the board that I could have done there.
Yeah.
My only saving grace is one of the damage rolls was a 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a straight up miss, unfortunately. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
Absolutely, I'll move away.
Classic Oz action. Okay.
I guess that's it. That's all I can do.
Gonna be this one's turn. Zoran, why don't you give me an intimidation check, just randomly here, to see if these guys are, really, really understanding what's going on here.
A 12.
A 12. Okay, so this one, let's see, whose turn is it actually? It's that one. Okay, so this one, it's this one's turn. It's going to run and flee once it notices. It's like, watch out for the white dragon! Watch out! As it runs. He's like, it'll save me! It'll save me! And then it's gone. Okay. And that'll be its turn. Buffetes, you're up.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Did you say one was running?
Yeah, it's up here. I guess you can technically still see it. It's still on the map.
Okay. I'm gonna fire at it.
Okay, it'll get a little bit of cover, but
how much cover does it get?
let me see here.
Because my ranged spell attacks ignore half and 3/4 cover.
Yeah, it doesn't get total cover, so you get to. It ignores it, so it'll hit.
Oh!
And for 6 points of damage, and that it's looking rough. It's just like, ah! Please save me, oh great white one.
What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?
Unfortunately, that one misses.
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Womp womp.
The white one saved me.
Yeah.
Okay.
A snowflake.
That's like I took a step forward when I was launching that and hit a deep pocket of snow and just like fell forward and just cast Eldritch Blast into the ground.
Pretty much. We'll just say that happened.
Still not used to this snow stuff.
Bewildering to me. Zoran, you are up.
I will aim for this one. Please. Let's reroll that damage.
Sorry, you were talking
8.
about this one?
Yeah.
Okay, a 17 does it hit, and it will take said 8 points of damage. Still, it's looking rough, but it is still up.
Oh no. For 4.
Well, it was looking rough. Describe your kill.
Oh, same thing as I did with my other kills. So right through the heart. And I'm gonna
it's just
say,
like-
should have ran away when you had a chance.
Well, it didn't, but and it is dead. Okay.
And then I'm gonna run 35
Okay.
here.
You have another shot?
That's it.
Okay.
No, I'm done.
All right. It is Jimothy's turn.
I'm gonna let that one run away, and I will rifle through some of these bodies.
Okay. All right. Why don't you give me an investigation check? You're kind of taking the time to do that, and we'll get back to it here.
10. A fucking 10.
10. Yeah, not much on them. It seems like they just got like their standard weapons. It looks like they have a couple javelins, a couple daggers, and mainly just their fur coat. But besides that, they're not really running around with a bunch of money.
I'll strip all their coats off. And I'm gonna line the bottom of our wagon, like the inside bottom of our wagon, with these coats, assuming they're not all fucking bloody and stuff.
I guess the ones that Zoran killed may be a little bit bloody, but not too bad.
Well, I'll spread some snow over it and pat it around and end it off with the snow, and then good as new. And I'll go toss them in the wagon.
So there's at least one that's basically pudding.
Pretty much. Looking a little rough there. So that one for sure is not going to be salvageable. Okay, so that'll be your turn. We'll see. I guess we'll kind of move to the end here because the other one's running. Zoran, do you intend to kill the last one here, and or everyone else? I guess seems like Jimothy kind of let that one go. But does anyone else have a vengeance here they'd like to? If so, we'll keep going in initiative tracker. If not, we will end combat there.
I mean, my movement 35 feet, so I'm wondering if I can catch up to him. But if I can't, that's okay.
I mean, with your
I'm
range,
just imagining that he's going to do this to other people, so maybe I just want to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you could probably keep pace position since you have a little bit of distance, and then Bofades, you with your Eldritch Blast has quite a bit of range, I believe.
So
Yeah, I have like 300 feet.
is that, just asking, is this an accurate distance from me, 25 feet, or is he farther than that?
And he hasn't gone yet, so yeah, that would be an accurate distance. Later, I would have to go to off-map mechanics and all that.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, should have been dash, but I didn't have dash. That's okay.
He's 25 feet. I'll run up to him and I'll just grab him by the scruff of his neck, by the back of his jacket, and just pick him up and hold him out at arm's length.
Okay, give me an athletics to grapple. Grapple action.
Fucking
Okay.
slimy little
Alright.
shit.
Well, he'll contest that, I guess. And yeah, he is slimy little shit. He's like, let me go.
Do I
And,
get a second try because I have 2 attacks, or is that it?
No, I think that's the whole action, unfortunately. Okay, Oz, you're up.
Oh, hold on 1 second. So,
Oh, do you have something? Nice.
nope, that takes an action, and I've already
Okay.
used my action.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So Oz, what do you got for us? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna hit it with some magic quills.
Nice.
11 force damage.
11. Yeah. Describe your kill.
One of the quills is gonna go through the back of the kobold's head. The other is gonna go through the back of the neck, and then the final one is gonna go through the heart, through the back.
This is like
Yep.
just collapse to the ground, and it is dead as Asala was trying to grab this slimy little thing, and you guys have killed, from what you can tell, all the kobolds here, and you guys kind of turn to see, and then Jimothy's just like, a nice form. He's like laying everything out.
Putting it all in the cart, like, yeah.
Putting it all in the cart, and there we will end the combat here. So cool. Yeah, I rolled for that one, and you guys got one of the easier combats, which is fine. It's good to probably just have a couple ones where you just mop the floor with some of the enemies out here.
And we can't tell if they came from like the same general area or anything, right? I imagine probably not.
No, they were kind of like, maybe they were anticipating with you all. But I will say, why doesn't everyone give me a perception check? Okay, so this is actually particularly hard DC here. But yeah, so just Jimothy and Bofades. Oh, Sally just missed it. You probably won't have to. Jimothy in particular, Bofades, you see it. You see from a distance. I mean, this is like miles away. Something flying to the kind of like when you're kind of like looking around to see if there's anything else in the northeast direction. Miles away. It's almost like a speck of dust or something like that. But you see something flying.
Does it look white?
Jimothy, with your perception, you maybe from the gray skies or something like that, it could be white, but you do see something pretty. It could be a little white dot in the sky there.
Or maybe silver.
Maybe silver, but it is miles away. So it's not like and it doesn't seem like it's moving towards you or anything like that. It's almost getting like farther away from you.
Okay. Well, as long as it's not heading towards us, I guess I will ignore it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly. That's kind of Bofades' thought on that as well. Well, it's not coming towards us.
So that's nice. Okay. So yeah, which is kind of weird because like you heard these things we were talking about worshiping a white one or something like that. So whatever it was, it's out there. Or it could be out there, I guess. Okay. So you guys so Jimothy's taking all the coats that are for the most part salvageable, lining the cart with them, making them nice and toasty. Anything else you guys want to do with the bodies, or are you just gonna let them be assigned to warn others that there were kobolds here.
Yeah, leave them.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of interesting, like you're gonna leave them, there's gonna be frozen bodies here. You know, I don't know if you guys have seen
Can
those
we
videos, like
Can we
climbing
make
up
them into a
Everest.
cairn? Can we make them in a cairn, like where they're stacked up onto a little mountain?
Yeah, you totally could.
Perfect. We'll do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I just
Can we
want to
put
like
them
take the
in-
time to like dig holes, dig a grave for them or something. So
If I wasn't playing the character that I am, I'd be like, oh, could we like put them in comical poses and wait till they freeze? But a paladin would not do that.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
seem like
maybe
a
we could
Silas.
spell out Francis.
God damn it. No. Okay. So you guys finish it up. And are you guys just gonna keep going on your merry way here?
I think we should
Yes.
continue.
Okay. Why don't you guys give me another survival check to see how far you make it here?
Not at these.
What the hell's going on?
Alright.
What the hell's going on?
Oh shoot! I just made you roll with advantage there, Jimothy. That was an accident.
Perfect. 10.
You're like, I'll take that. So 16, 9, 17, 16, 4. Okay, not bad. So you guys are maintaining track. As you're following the road, you guys get towards the outskirts of Bryn Shander by kind of like maybe like just approaching dusk here. Do you guys plan on staying in Bryn Shander, or just kind of keep pushing through and start moving towards the north here as you make your way to Lonelywood? So you guys have the option if you wanted to stay in Bryn Shander for the night, or just keep pressing on to kind of save time here, and then settle up.
do we know if it would push us through like the evening, or if we could
You
just
wouldn't
do
get
it the
there.
next day?
You wouldn't get you wouldn't get there by like midnight or something like that in Lonelywood, but
Is the back of the cart big enough for us to sleep in?
no, not all of you.
At least not laying down.
Not lying down. You could probably all sit in it, I would say. Well, maybe not a silo. A silo is kind of heavy, but
Don't we have that hut though?
Like, I can stand beside the cart and be fine.
yeah, you could do that exactly.
Get out!
We do have the hut.
robot.
Get out.
Brutal.
Yeah, I mean,
We
I
could
don't
save
think.
our money.
Yeah.
Say that again?
I think we could save our money. Push forward. We've got the cart. We've got the hut.
Okay. So you guys are gonna press on. Okay. So you're gonna go around Bryn Shander here. You don't go through the city, and you make your way towards the next town before it starts breaking to the north, which is Targos. Okay. Are you guys gonna go through the night and get to Targos? That you could probably do, kind of like into the little bit of a couple hours after it gets dark. It's your guys' call here.
Yeah, let's see. Why not?
They'll see
Okay.
how close we can get.
Okay. All right. So you guys get to the town of Targos by a little bit after dark here. And are you guys going to settle in Targos? It's a little bit of the smaller towns. And you guys been there, so what would you guys like to do? Stay in like something of the inn, or just keep on moving?
If we did keep on moving, we could make it still through the night, or is it gonna be like
Yeah, I'm just saying like I know it'll take
afternoon?
you another like half day or day's worth of travel depending on how well you do on survival checks. But I'm mainly just asking, like, are you guys going to try to stay in Targos, like in one of the inns or anything like that? Because it's a little bit darker now, or you're gonna just use your hut and stick to the hut, essentially, on the outskirts of Targos.
Oz is gonna set up the hut outside and just,
Yeah.
we might be like on the outskirts of Targos, but it's like midnight at this point.
Yeah, so Targos, like Bryn Shander and some of the other towns, Targos doesn't have nearly as impressive. That's the thing; it's like kind of ordeal. It doesn't. It has a wall. It's not great. It's pretty shoddily made, but it has some sort of barrier to keep things out. So, so yeah, if you want to just keep on the outskirts like Oz does, sets up, then that's totally good with me.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So, will you guys have a watch for the evening?
I'll take the first watch.
Okay.
I'll take the second.
I will take the third.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I will sleep.
So will Jimothy. He puts perfect trust in this hut.
Well, we're just not that special.
I mean, Zoran only needs like 4 hours of sleep, so she's good.
Okay. So, all right. Give me the first watch a perception check here. Yeah, you're maybe a bit distracted or a bit tired.
Wonder I couldn't have cast guidance on myself, can I?
Yeah, but it has to be pre the roll, I would say. Unfortunately. But yeah, your watch seemingly goes relatively boring. You see like maybe like one person trying to get into the town, walking by from a distance. And that's about it.
Okay. I will go wake up Oz then.
Okay,
Let
Oz.
him know nothing happened except one dude trying to get into town.
Okay.
He's right over there.
Give me a perception check, Oz. 21.
Any owlbears out in the nearby area?
So, Oz, with a 21, you do notice something. Let's see if I can.
Is there like a white dragon like laying over the dome? Is that what's going on? Zoran missed the dragon, but Oz is like, fuck!
You
Dragon,
notice...
no, that's just snow.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. Make sure that's right. Yes. So you notice from kind of like a little bit of a distance, not too far, maybe but about 150, 200 feet away, a rather large like bipedal creature. It's got like pretty dark skin. It's got like hairy forearms and like hairy like thighs and like hairy like it's almost like covering its calves and like it's almost like it's completely nude. And it seems like it's facing away from you for now. And it's almost like lurching forward and just kind of like slowly moving along. And you notice his hands got large, like deep curved claws, as it's kind of like moving away. And do you do anything as it's not approaching the hut or anything like that, but it is moving?
Does it look like an owlbear to Oz?
No.
No.
Not even close, yeah.
Oh. Not interested.
Okay. So you notice it kind of moves away, and then it kind of like just goes past a couple of like the trees around the area and some of the rocks, and then it just kind of disappears. That was like the only thing that comes up, and you move on. You move, wait for the next person, and your watch comes to a close.
While waiting, did he recognize what that thing was?
Why don't you give me say Arcana, maybe history. Yeah, why don't you give me a history to see if you read about this?
26.
26. So you've read about some of these creatures potentially. You're like, oh, is this a Yeti? No, it's not quite like large like a Yeti. Sorry. You're like, this? Or maybe from your other description, just like reading about other like beasts and creatures. This
Is
might
it
be some
a
sort
hydro flask?
No. It seems like it's some sort of like troll, giant, maybe ogre, like around that kind of line of things.
Well, yeah.
It was kind of hard to tell from the distance there, but you assume it's one of those things. Your guess is probably maybe some sort of troll or ogre because it's not that large, but that's
Okay.
that's you. That's what you know. You would guess it's one of those two things.
Well, Oz made the right decision. I mean, had it been an owlbear, there would be no more hut.
Yeah.
Well, Oz has to stay inside the hut for the hut to like remain. So if it was an owlbear, Oz would not be in the hut.
Out the door.
Okay. So, so your watch comes to the close. Do you wake up the next person?
Yeah, I'll wake up a silo and just say, I saw some sort of lame troll or ogre walking around, but they're gone now.
Okie dokie. I will keep an eye out for it.
All right. Give me a perception check there, Silo.
I don't see shit. I don't know what you're
You're
talking about.
absolutely right.
Osmanthus was seeing things in the dark.
Yeah, you don't see anything about some large troll creature or ogre or whatever giant. Yeah, you don't see any of that. As your evening goes relatively undisturbed. Nothing really happens. And then you notice what seems to be the sun coming up. As you wake the others.
All right. I'll walk around, wake everybody up.
Okay.
Time to go.
Okay. And do you guys plan on sticking around, going into Targos, or just keep going on the path and start making your way towards Lonelywood?
Is Targos known for anything in particular?
Targos is like a fishing village. So if you guys want to get some fish, it's a bit smaller.
I think I'm good. We can continue.
Okay. All right. So you start making there's going to be another town that goes between Lonelywood and Targos, and that will be called Tourmaline. So that's like on the next one, and you haven't been there. So I will give a fresh set of survival checks, please, as you start transitioning towards the north here. See how far you get.
And his name is John C.
Wow, you guys have your Wheaties so far. God damn. All right, you guys crush it. I mean, something maybe you guys got a good night's rest. I don't know what it is, but you guys are flying today. You're just moving along. Oh, make sure you cast whatever you need to cast for the day. To kind of keep moving the wagon along here. So just remind yourself. I'll try to keep you guys at least the day start that you're doing this.
Yeah, I think the fine steed just stays forever.
Yeah, it's there until it dies or I dismiss it. And then I can summon it again.
Whereas my phantom steed, I have to summon every hour. I'm also going to cast this on myself in case we run into any more kobolds.
Okay. Nice. Who are you going to touch? Is it going to be you or?
Oh yeah, Oz is gonna touch himself for this one.
Well, very nice. Okay, so you do that. You start making your way to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a bit more of a mining-like town. So you notice that kind of some of the terrain gets a bit more rockier as you get closer. As you're traveling, Oz, why don't you give me a perception check? Okay.
7.
Things seem to be going fine. So you're traveling, and then you notice kind of like the outskirts of Tourmaline here. And then as you're about to kind of like, maybe you're about maybe 500 feet from the like kind of like the outer edges of the town, you notice something leap over the rocks, and it's going to strike out at you as a collective, sorry. And Oz, you recognize this to be the creature from last night. Seems to be stalking you the entire time. And we will stop there for the evening, as you guys will engage in combat with whatever this creature might be here.
Whoa.
Boo.
Boo indeed. Okay. So
Okay.
we will take a decently long break here.
Yeah.
I have no idea when we're going to play next, so I guess once we figure out schedules here. So definitely not next week, and then I think the next week after that either.
So yeah, so Oliver and I can't do the 1st or the 8th.
Yeah, so I can't do that. So looks like maybe the 15th will be the first one potentially. I think.
I think Daniel's out.
No, I won't be. What? Hold on. No.
15th is the Monday after I move, when I'm going to be getting a lot of deliveries. I don't know, probably still setting up my house after moving that weekend. So may or may not be able to play. I think my preference would be, if we're going to play that week, to push it back like later in the week, like we did this week, if possible.
That's the week I will be leaving on the 17th and not getting back until the 22nd. So both of those days are kind of out for me.
Okay. So so tentatively, I guess.
Do like Tuesdays work for for everyone, or no?
I could make Tuesday work.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, potentially the 16th. If not, we'll push it towards whatever the 23rd and on that week, I guess. So just kind of go 3 weeks without playing.
And we're not playing this coming week.
Correct. We're not playing this coming week.
Okay.
So the 16th at the earliest, the 29th, if that's not going to work.
Okay. I'll put on my calendar for the 16th at least.
Okay, and if not, we'll chat and stuff like that as things get closer. I'll be back from Australia way before then, so it should be. We'll just be in touch. So let's tentatively aim for the 16th. If not, we'll look towards next week and try to reschedule for that.
Sweet. I'm going to propose this. Feel free to shoot it down. Do we want to try and do some sort of theater of the mind combat over like Facebook Messenger between now and either the 16th or the 29th? We don't have to decide tonight. I'm just wondering, like, if we don't play till the 29th, that's like 5 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. To kind of keep things moving along. So yeah, I mean, I could do it. I mean, it's right now it's just this one creature that you're all fighting, so I could track everything and stuff like that. But I understand logistically people are going to be wanting to do things. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do that to kind of keep things going. But no pressure either way from anyone. So just think on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we'll just see how things go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'd be down. I can bring my mini dice to London, you know, just in the bar.
yeah, I mean, it's,
I mean, I was going to bring our dice to play Yahtzee, so it's not going to make that big of a difference for me to carry a couple of other dice. So,
right.
You can't just bring one set. What happens if the set's rolling bad?
Yeah.
exactly.
You need to have
then
at
I'm
least...
just gonna switch to the Google like roll 1d20 and just have Google fucking like roll for me.
Yeah. I mean, as of right now, it seems like it's only one creature, so logistically, it would be pretty possible to do that to kind of keep things going. So yeah, let me know. Like I said, I probably won't be able to at the very least the following week, but you guys will be in London, so we'll chat. So let's just put a pin on that for now.
We can chat. I mean,
Okay.
as long as if we do it through Facebook Messenger, I mean, we could always, you know, one person could attack, and then when it's mine or Oliver's turn, we might
Right.
have to, you know, let you know like 5 hours later or something. I don't know.
Well,
That's
yeah.
fine.
But that's
That's
kind of the point, right? Is we just kind of
Yeah.
chat through it. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put
I think
like
that'd
an
be easy to do.
initiative. I'll put it like an
Mhm.
initiative, and then yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird though. I'm gonna
That'd be
keep
easy.
rolling these 20s.
yeah.
Another
gonna-
natural 20.
No, Oliver knows I would totally call him out on that. The person
Yeah.
that's gonna suck at the roll is gonna be me because I rolled for our March Madness tournament thing, and I have like all the number 1 seeds losing in the first round because of how I rolled. So not
Excellent.
great. Not great.
That's why you got to have at least a second bracket. Like I have 2 brackets that I submit to a group because that's how it works, and it's just like one I always have to pick KU to win it all, even though I know that's not going to happen.
Oh,
And then the
God,
other one,
not
I'm
this
like,
year.
No, KU I think loses in like the first round on one of my brackets, and like the second round in a different bracket. And we're doing like a men's one and a women's one, so I'm like, gosh dang it. Great. I have like a number 8 seed winning and a number like 5 seed winning or something. I'm like, this is gonna be
that's
terrible.
rough. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be that's a bit rough. I wouldn't roll for my brackets, that's for sure.
Hey, we didn't put any money down for it, so I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do this other thing and see what happens. Terrible. I don't recommend it.
We just kind of have like a family bracket thing that we do every year, so that's about
That's
it.
fun.
Just for bragging rights.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we like at the end of it last year, I guess last year was the first year we did it, but we're gonna continue it like every year. Like for the person that got like the most picks right or the highest scoring bracket, we made like a 3D printed like a little basketball trophy type thing. And for the person that got like the worst picks, I 3D printed a poop emoji, and we mounted that to like so it says like a little plaque that says like worst picks, and so we're like engraving people's names into like a dog's ID tag in the year that it was. So one goes on the winning trophy, one goes on the losing trophy.
Nice. Well, fun.
So that was fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have fun. It's hope we'll be in touch, and safe travels for those that are traveling.
You have fun too.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll see you guys.
See ya. Have a good night.
Don't be commenting on anybody's knife, because they'll show you.
Yeah, I won't.
Now that's a knife.
Have
Have a good night.
Yeah.